Voila!
And welcome to the Amanda Natanda Show. I'm Amanda and thank you guys for watching. I am so super excited about today's episode. As you already know, I'm always excited, and he knows it the first day I met him. I'm like, what? Right, I am so excited because today I am joined by an amazing, talented producer, artist, and founder of VestEd Music here in Edmonton, guys. And he releases music in collaboration with some of Yig's finest performers, hidden gems, and talents from across the globe. And mind you, you're gonna have to listen to his music whether you like it or not. Because, hey, the reason why he came here, I scouted for him too now. The way he scouts for artists was like, oh my gosh, now I need to see this Jey and just have him over here because I've interviewed 2 of the artists that you've worked with, right? And I was like, no. I need to see this Jey because I love the beats, I love everything that you're doing. So welcome on the show, Jey. Yeah. So before we get into the questions, do you mind telling the viewers where you're from, if you're born here, or if you're born in another country, or you have your heritage is another country? Yeah.
Well, I was born here in Edmonton, actually.
Right. Okay.
Both my parents are from Jamaica.
Oh, right.
And they moved to Canada, both from England.
Right.
Late 60s, and I was born here. I have a younger sister as well, and so it's the 2 of us here. And
So have you been to England?
I went to England when I was really small. But,
and did you come with the British accent?
No.
I know.
No.
So Canadian.
No.
All right.
No British accent. Yeah. So I've been to Jamaica quite a few times, and visit my family. And,
right.
That's where my roots are from. So.
All right. And you still have family there?
I still have family there.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Actually, I have a half brother that's there.
Okay.
As well. And whoever is left from my mom and dad's side and cousins and such. So try to get out there as often as I can, but in the last few years, not as often as I probably should. But yeah.
Oh no, that is so awesome and good to know. Really, I was like, okay, I didn't see England coming in, but okay, that's great. And it's good to know. So just a brief background of who Jey is and you being in the music industry.
Well, I got involved in music really young. Actually, parents got me involved in piano lessons when I was a kid, and practiced and played and whatnot for a number of years. And then when I was about 16 or so, I actually did drop it. I was quite interested in sports and those things. So I think as many
football, hockey,
soccer and volleyball is what I played a lot of, and I think that sort of took over, and you had the battles with the parents as to are you going to be practicing your piano and so on, and so at that time I did let it go, but while I was in high school, and I went to McNally High School here in Edmonton, and was involved in a 5-man hip-hop R&B a cappella dance group / troupe.
Right.
And so that sort of spurred the interest into R&B hip hop music from a performance standpoint. I was always interested in that from musically, and that was the genre that I gravitated to from a listening perspective. But when it came to performance and whatnot, then that's kind of how we got into it.
Right.
And so we were. What had happened is that we started out as this 5-man group, and the purpose really was there was a talent show, the yearly talent show.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think talent shows are like literally everywhere. We had some back home. I come from Zimbabwe, and we had a time back home. I even went on television performing Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Eve when I thought I was a singer.
Well, we need to hear more about that.
Right, yeah.
But so there's a talent show at the high school, and so we put this group together with the intent of, of course, capturing the title, right? But then that evolved to where the school wanted us to perform on their roadshow when they were going to different junior highs to entice junior high students to come to the school.
Right.
And so we were doing that as well, and then that evolved into singing a cappella. We went performed at the Fringe on the street side.
Are you kidding?
Back then. And, we were, for about 2 or 3 years there, we were fairly involved in that performance side of things. And of course, life happens, and the boys split, went to school, and so on.
College years?
Yeah, went to colleges, and then I and myself and the lead singer of the group at that time, we evolved into friendship, and we continued to kind of do music. Not I wouldn't say very seriously. I think it was more with the intent of continuing to grow.
Okay.
Right? Hone your skills and grow, and we went to a studio actually out in Spruce Grove at the time, and during that period of time, I was fortunate enough to have a good relationship with the owner, and he gave us a key, and so we weren't paying for studio time, and and so we,
and sometimes when you're in alignment, that's what happens, right? Because I find we try and force ourselves to get into a path that's really not ours, right? And then you see yourself getting into so much debt for no reason and whatever, but then right there is proof to say, you know what, you were destined to go that part.
Right.
And even just the work that you're doing right now, I was
right.
like, hey, I need to see this guy. Right.
Yeah, so that was a very fortunate thing for myself, because it allowed you to be able to create without the burden of
for sure
the financial and time and those things. And but there was probably a curse in that as well, in the sense that we would go and produce and record music all the time.
Okay.
But never actually say, let's release it. Let's do something with it. Because you always knew that you could, that one's not good enough. Let's go back to
Let's go and do it.
Right. Right. So.
And not taking it too seriously.
Right. It doesn't necessarily allow you to take it too seriously at the time. And of course, times were different then, right? There wasn't the Spotify's and the Apple Music where you could just put stuff out. I don't know if that's dated myself at all, but. So it like I said, it allowed us to be creative, but I think we could have done a lot more with the music at the time. But so we did that, and then life happens again, right? And now when I mean life happens, wife and children and those type of things. And then reconnected with one of the guys from high school too, and we both said, let's start producing and writing and things like that. Now that we're, the graybeards of the graybeards. Right?
Okay.
And,
I didn't hear that, but it's okay. Yes.
And so we got back into it. I would say about 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit more seriously, and I think that's because now we could dedicate time to it in a different manner, right? We have our working careers and things of that nature, but of course now the downtime we can devote the time to the music and to the art. Okay. And so we started to co-write and produce for a few artists here in the city, and then I decided to do some scouting, a little bit of with some of the different artists that are here in Edmonton, and here I am, trying to do a little bit of music.
Not doing it. I say here, we don't say try, we don't say if, we say when, and we're doing it, right? That is so awesome. And just what's actually amazing is the whole idea when we're talking, right? I was telling you just a rundown of the questions, the last part where I was talking about how we can talk to parents about this, right? And just having your parents to support you from the get-go, to even get you into music, of all the things. What do you ever think about it when you see other parents depriving their children to get into the arts, especially? Normally the arts, they're not considered a profession. I think that's the umbrella term that I can use.
And to be frank, I had some challenges as well with respect to my interaction with my parents when it came to music. They wanted me to be involved in music at an early age to expose me to that, but I think the broader goal of being a musician, maybe getting a record deal, being a producer, all of that, they shied away from. So they weren't as supportive in my ongoing growth beyond just sort of the norm. Wanting you to focus on school and those type of things. Which, of course, absolutely. But if I was talking to any parents, and I've now that I've been more involved in it and working with some of the younger talent here in the city, I have been quite impressed by the parents that I have met and how they have been right behind their children. For example, I know you had Masha on, and Masha's dad, and how he's so behind her and supportive of her, and Daisy, and some of these other artists that I have met, and I meet the artists, and then their parents are at the same networking events, and so they're really there for them, and I encourage them to continue to do that, and for those that maybe haven't gotten involved into the arts or beyond sort of high school and college and things of that nature, that I encourage the parents to be behind the dream, because you never know what may happen with that, and it uplifts their spirits to be able to know that as they are pursuing this, they have somebody in their corner. And I find it is easier for somebody to become successful, as much as parents would love their kids to be successful. Hence the reason why they give us these beautiful professions, right? And think arts is like one of the worst professions. But I find that somebody excels in something that they're really good at, something that they're passionate about, right? More than anything, right? And parents, I hope you heard that. I'm just saying. All right. So, did you at some point study music in school, or after school, or after college? No, it was during when did I start piano? I was about 5 or 6 years old at the time. Okay. And I took the Royal Conservatory lane of music, and I went up to about grade 6 or grade 7. Like I said, towards the end, I wasn't as thrilled with being involved with it in music. To be very frank, I do regret it now, to be honest. And I think a lot of people do, because at some point, especially if they get back into music, being able to play with that feverish passion as I probably could have back when I was younger. I don't have that, and so I'll give you my energy. Oh, thank you.
Right, I can totally understand, because I never also used to understand the whole idea of, you'd rather maybe have kids or do what it is that you want to do when you're younger, because your energy level gets lower the older you get, right? And I can see it as well when I'm working and doing everything. I was like, oh my gosh, God, I used to have so much energy. Not that I don't anymore, but it's different from when you're older, right? And you could have been dancing and performing on the stage right now, but then now maybe you're just mellow, chill.
You're just chilling. Do the two-step now.
Do the two-step, right? Oh my God. That is so hilarious, right? Wow. But then, I don't think regret is one thing that you should think of at this moment, considering that you actually...
I don't think about it. When I look back and I say, I would love the ability to be able to play as well as a lot of the individuals that I see playing now. So from a regret standpoint, I regret not being able to do that. I also look at it and say, if if I was, still playing from the time I was a teenager until now, I may not have made the switch to want to involve myself in the production side, because now I was looking at all the technical aspects of it, and really getting involved into that side of it. So when I say regret, I'm not necessarily thinking about it, but it's like anything, you switch and your path switches, and maybe it's for a good thing.
For a good thing, and everything happens for a reason. Absolutely. And at the right time too, right? So, what genres do you produce? You mentioned that you sang R&B and hip hop. You loved R&B and hip hop. So what? And now you produce. Right. Do you just still focus on those, or are you open to?
It's predominantly R&B, hip hop, pop type music. I enjoy various genres of music, but that's where my heart is, and so I continue to pursue that.
Okay. And then I also even read Ambiesoul. What's
Ambiesoul?
I was like, I'm gonna ask what Ambiesoul is, because I don't think I've heard that genre.
No, actually, it's something that I coined actually a while ago.
Good.
Yeah, I was listening to sort of what I enjoy in music, and I like an ambience sound. Yeah. And so I noticed that everything that I've been involved in producing, there's always been this little bit of ambience, and so I've called it Ambiesoul.
We love it. So guys, we're going to be adding this genre on the genre list. It's called Ambiesoul, so look out for that. By Jey Blaq right there. So how do you scout for your talent? We spoke about scouting for talent, and you now being a producer. Obviously, being a producer, you can't produce air, right? And you have to go out there and network a lot and hear voices. So how do you do it?
Well, a lot of it is going to networking events, or going to some of the small shows, the various venues that are around town, and you hear a talent and you think, I like that. And I've been fortunate too that I've had other individuals connect with me as well. So I think it's as I've gotten more involved in music and talking to various artists and individuals that are in the music scene here in Edmonton, which is a great community, I might add. I think over time you start hearing about various individuals. You go to different events, you hear someone sing. You go to you might go to an event, for example, such as Five Artists One Love, and see the performances, and now you're seeing who's in and around the city, and who's the musicians that are performing with them, and so that that continues to allow you to see what's out there, and think about, would they fit maybe the type of music that you're interested in producing,
right?
And of course, reach out, talk, and see if you can make something happen.
Right. Oh, and you do magic. By the way, you're doing great with all the art, like with so far the artists that I've listened to, right? And I was like, okay, keep doing it and don't stop. And even when I find also too that trying to get people out of their comfort zone actually works at times. Not just saying, oh, okay, let me hear if they fit into my genre, right? But just to try and get them out of there, because it's the voice tool that you need.
Right. And this is what when I had decided to do my own project, as an artist producer project, and release music sort of on my platform. The thought was to have various artists that take them out of their comfort zone, and see if we could put together something that was so different than what they're used to, maybe performing themselves or hearing themselves, but something that's enjoyable and for, of course, other people to be able to listen to.
And it'll be showing your skill too.
And maybe so. Yeah. And for example, the very first song that I did release was with Natalia Chai. And that song was very, very different than what she's ever done, and we had a really enjoyable time, putting that song together, and even when I listen to it today and then listen to the stuff that she's typically used to playing and how different it is, but how it works, that's exciting, and so to be able to do that, and I'm continuing to do that, and that's one of the reasons why I'm still looking at various talents and saying how can we merge the talents together and come up with something that's different, that someone can enjoy.
Right, guys, as you can see, this is the whole purpose. So link up with this guy because I'm going to put the details down below here. If you're an artist, you want to do something different, please do follow Jey on his social platforms. I will put all his social platforms right here and just try something different, right? So which artists or what actually inspires your art of music?
Oh, what artists?
Yeah. Music is interesting.
I would say, if I was to go back.
Yeah, I know. I saw BoyzIIMen when I was reading.
Right, yeah, BoyzIIMen. I mean, I think BoyzIIMen, for anybody who was involved in R&B, was a big deal. But I think from a production standpoint, I would say my biggest influences would have been Timbaland.
Oh, yeah.
I would say Timbaland and Pharrell.
Oh, yeah.
I would say Dallas Austin,
who
was, and he's still a big producer down there. Produced alongside Babyface and various other producers way back in the 90s. Yeah. And my favorite producer ever since sort of the mid 2000s until today, Ryan Leslie. And so anytime I hear anything that he does, I'm just smiling all the time. So
you're like, oh yeah, we knew it.
Yeah.
You will nail it.
So those I'd say would be my primary influences from a production standpoint.
Okay.
And it allows me to continue to feed my passion. And
you need that, right? Hence the reason the people that inspire, we need people to inspire us and to inspire our work. So what's your future musical dream? Do you have a future musical dream?
Oh, I think like anyone, you wanna be up here. But I would have to say that I'm in my dream. Right? I think I'm in my dream. There's you can chase it, but I think right now I have the opportunity to be involved in it. Do it. Be involved with the younger generation coming up, who of course they can reach the heights, and to be a part of their journey. It's part of my journey, and so I think for me I'm living it, and whatever comes from every single move that I make or individual that I get involved with, I then look at what can I learn from this, and how do I move from this to go wherever it takes me. So I'm fortunate enough to be living it. I think with this day and age and being able to release music independently and for so many individuals to be able to do the same thing, I think now there's more about you can live in your dream versus chasing a noise and needing the record deal and the record labels and all of that.
And thanks to like technology, social media and stuff like that. Yeah.
So I'm living it. I'm living it.
Whew. Guys, live in your dreams. Don't chase. And sometimes too, when you chase anything, chasing is kind of
there's nothing wrong with having that goal and saying, okay, this is what I'm trying to attain. Absolutely. But I think also
learn to live in the moment.
You live in the moment. Live in the moment of it too, because you don't want to have those regrets down the road where you say I've wasted time, or I've spent a lot of time thinking about trying to attain the goal, but then not really embracing all of those moments and be able to smile and say, this is fun, this is great, so.
Oh wow, that is so amazing. So lastly, what challenges? Of course, we enjoy the fact, we love the fact that you're already living in your dream, but then we get the success, we love it. But obviously we face challenges for us to get to to be enjoying our present moment. So what challenges have you faced throughout your journey, your musical journey? Oh boy. And you pausing and saying, okay, life happens and all that jazz.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm fairly optimistic about all of it. So I don't know if I see it as challenges. I think, like I said, if you're in the moments, then it's not as challenging.
Yeah.
You know, or at least I find that's my perspective anyhow. You know, unfortunately, I think Edmonton, Canada, still has a stigma. It's it's not a musical place according to everybody else, right? And so I think
not even just musical, because I'm into acting. I'm an actress too, right? So it's one of those trying to think, okay, how do I maneuver? I call for advice from people in Hollywood. They're like, oh, you may as well go to Toronto, Vancouver. That's where it happens. I'm thinking, you know why? And for sure, you're right, because I've been in the film industry in Edmonton as well, right? And people do not have that, I don't know, like that passion to be up there with everybody else, like to put Edmonton on the map.
Put it on the map.
So it's not just music. I feel like the arts on their own,
Yes.
the industry, like Edmonton just needs to rise up, right?
Put us on the map.
Right.
Every individual that's involved, be proud that you are from here.
Edmonton,
And continue to put it on the map. And I know so many individuals that are doing that. And I think more can do that. And I think if we don't do that, I think we face this challenge together. That we are not seen as being some a group of people from a certain city that can be creative and can put a stamp on the music industry. And so I encourage everyone who's coming up now, don't be scared to say that you're from Edmonton.
From Edmonton.
And for those that have been doing it for a long time, don't be scared to say that I'm doing this and I'm from Edmonton. And if you're collaborating with people from overseas or from wherever, don't be afraid to say that this is where I'm from. Right. And you might be surprised at some of the comments that may come back and how they say, wow, what's going on? What's in the water?
Exactly.
Right? And let's embrace that.
And then especially because, like you're saying, if I say Edmonton, you say Edmonton, and Daisy says Edmonton, Masha says Edmonton, people be like, okay, now what's happening in Edmonton? You know what I mean?
Right.
Because the more we're proud of where we come from and just put it on the map, people be like, now we want to check out Edmonton. What's in Edmonton, right?
And so, I think that is one of the challenges I think that we all face, and trying to continue to rise and grow our musical career or artistic careers. But time sometimes is a challenge. I think at my age, and of course having a family and things of that nature, that's always a challenge. But I am very fortunate. I have a daughter. She's 7 years old, and having the musical gear in the basement and being able to record people in the basement of my home and have her come down and be involved, and she's now taking singing lessons herself and
nice.
wants me to produce a song for her, which of course I'll do, and so these are things that I don't always have the time, but when I do have the time, I can do that as well with my daughter, and that's important to me, and of course for her ongoing growth and development. So there's a challenge, but there's also the positive
side of it. And I also hear some people saying, oh yeah, it's not a challenge, it's a learning curve. You know what I mean? Because as much as, yes, we have to face obstacles, right? But then those obstacles are meant to teach us something in the future or wherever. But that is so amazing, and thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
So what advice would you give to the young person who's trying to pursue music as a career?
I would say, follow the dream. If you feel that you're passionate about being a musician or being a vocalist or being a performer of any kind, follow your dream. Put yourselves into situations that allow you to explore your talents.
For sure.
Whether it be a talent show, whether it be a networking event, whether it be just going to some of the concerts and small shows that happen to be in the city.
For sure.
Here, where they can see that you know, like for example, tonight, you know, K-Riz, another great talent here in the city, he's releasing his album, and he's having an album release party tonight.
Right.
And so, you know, I would encourage some of the younger kids to say, you know what, can I go to something like this and watch and see this is what's happening here in our city. I think part of it is, you know, a lot of the kids are seeing what's happening on TV and what's happening in LA and New York and, you know, Toronto and some of these bigger centers, which of course captivates them, and, you know, they would like to be able to attain those dreams, but there's so much going on in the city, and I don't think they even realize it. And when they go and see it and say, oh, I can do that, or I can be involved in that, and those things help, I think, catapult their dreams even further, because now they say, okay, this is how I can get involved. Right? Or someone then sees that how talented that they might be, right? If they're in a talent show, and, you know,
and they can even get you to the next level, right?
Absolutely.
With the people that you meet.
People that you meet. So just to, you know, put yourself in situations that sometimes are uncomfortable, right?
Very.
They can be uncomfortable.
But that's what growth is, right?
Exactly. You're not used to networking, and now you're at a networking event. It can be uncomfortable, but the more you do it, like anything, it's like practice, and, you know, you can meet great people. And that's how we ended up meeting, right?
I know, right? And then you're like, oh, hi, Amanda. I was like, who is this person? It was like, oh, okay. Okay, I'm crazy, don't worry. I'm just thinking about the women right now. But anyway, I know networking events are so important. You meet different people. You never know, you may even meet your sponsor there, right? You never know, you may even meet the next person who's going to take you to the next level, right? Exactly. And that is so amazing. So you've heard it for yourselves, young people, and since we've already spoken about adults at the beginning of the show, adults, please be supportive of your kids' dreams, no matter what, because what they're passionate about is exactly what's going to make them succeed, more than what you're passionate about for them. I should put it that way, right? Before we go, you already know, we can't leave the show without being crazy here. But then I know Jay has already watched a bit of my show, and I hope he didn't watch the questions that I'm about to ask him right now, just to have fun for a second. But stay tuned, we'll be right back. We're back, and you already know we have our black box here in the house. Are you ready for the black box?
Yes.
Right? Okay, you're right. So let's play this. So this game is very interesting because it just kills me. It just teases your brain for a second. And I will try and read out as clear as I can be, because when I was doing my post-production, I figured that a days was being smart about my questions, yo. This is for you. I didn't even tell you this. So every time she kept saying, come again? All the questions say come again because she wanted to think. I was like, you're not supposed to think. It's supposed to be natural right away. But anyway, so I'm gonna ask you to pick 5 questions. Just put them, let me just shake this. And then you put them on the lid, and then I'll read them to you, and then just give me what you think, or what you think the answer is. I'm sure you get all of them. It's okay, maybe, you never know. And then we have one legit question, which has to do with not that the rest are not legit, but but this one has to do with Canada, your knowledge of Canada, right? So that's what I mean by legit. The rest are just silly. So so just pick 5 questions and then put them in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, just one more. There we go. Alrighty, so I'll try and be as clear as I can and see how this goes. Alright, so you've got 2 dogs. Alright, you've got 2 dogs, you've got 2 cows, and you got 1 cat. 2 dogs, 2 dogs, 5 cows.
5 cows.
2 dogs, 5 cows, 1 cat. Yeah. How many legs do you have?
2.
I told you, smart people. Let's go to the question you think you're smart. Okay. All right, question number 2. Oh yeah, you got that right. Tapping. All right, so what's heavier between a pound of cotton and a pound of stone?
They're the same.
Okay. They're the same. You got it right. I just finished to say. I'm trying to think. I'm like, okay, wait, you get it right. But anyway, yes, they're the same. You got it right. Awesome. This is the question that's been overused. I need to change it. So you're running a race.
Okay.
Then you pass the person who was second place. What place are you in?
First.
Ooh, holy. Yeah, okay. We'll come back.
We'll come back to that?
We'll come back to that. Alright, we'll come back to that one. You got that one wrong. Finally. Oh, you're gonna see how tricky it is. I even thought the same the first time. Trust me, I thought the same. But anyway, how many points? Now this one's the legit one. This was the knowledge of Canada.
Oh, I see.
You were born in Canada.
Right.
So let's see if you know the maple leaf very well.
Right.
Let's see if this guy knows the maple leaf very well. Picture the maple leaf right now.
Alright.
Okay, I see. Picture it.
Okay.
Alright, so how many points does the maple leaf of on the Canadian flag have?
How many points? 11.
Hey! Chai! You're the first one to get it right.
Oh yeah? 11, right? 3
Okay, so how...
three,
Exactly.
3 on it, and then the bottom edge has 1 each.
Yes, and you know what? That's exactly how I ended up figuring it out, right? That if anything, people need to see on the 3,
right,
they have 3,
yeah.
which is 9.
Which is
and
9.
then the last 2. Oh, you got it! Oh yeah, here's the Duke and guys. I'm just saying. Oh, say silk 5 times.
Silk, 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 silk.
Then spell silk.
S-I-L-K.
What do cows drink?
Milk.
Really? Right, exactly. I just thought I should ask. I didn't even know. Cows drink milk?
No, well, maybe they do. I don't know.
No, they don't. They don't. They produce milk.
They produce milk.
And they drink water. You see, that sounds like they brain teasers. And thank God I managed to read them because as clear as I can. And I was so patient.
Yeah, you got me.
I got you. Right, now let's go to this one now. This one. So you're running a race. And you pass the person that's second place.
Right, so you're in second place.
Right? But then when you think about it, you're like, oh,
yes, you pass second to go to first.
First, right?
You pass second to be second.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but anyway, that's it for today. And thank you so much. Finally, I was like, oh my God, Jay's gonna get this. Because you watched the show and I'm like, oh my God, I need to change this question. But then, yeah, we got to.
She got me.
But thank you so much, Jay. It was such an honor to have you here, and we look forward to more of your work in the city and just to hear more of what you're producing in the city. And to the viewers, I told you, you're gonna have to link up with this guy. If you're an artist, you wanna link up with this guy. He's such an amazing producer, and you've already seen Marsha, you've already seen a Daisy, and you can listen to more of his music on his social platforms. I will put your social platforms right here.
Yes, there's more to come.
There's more to come. Oh yeah,
more in the works right now. So
there we go, and it's very promising. Very promising, but thank you so much,
Jay.
Appreciate it. No, it's awesome. And to the viewers, thank you so much for watching. Keep watching. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button right here. I think it's not right here. I don't know. Every time I'm like right here, but it's not there, right? Yeah, somewhere there. So hit the subscribe button and feel free to share, comment, like, love, do whatever, you know what I mean? Be a part of the Imagine a Thunder show. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and God bless you. Remember, little girls with dreams become women of vision. Take care and God bless you.